Hi, I'm Andrew from Splunk. This brief tutorial has been prepared for GovHack to demonstrate some basic search and visualization features included within the product. I'll now pivot across to my Splunk session. Okay, this is the default Splunk landing page. From here, I'll select the Search and Reporting app. This is the Splunk Search and Reporting app default page. You can see the Splunk search bar from where search commands can be issued. I have onboarded a dataset of San Francisco Police Department crime data from 2013 that I will explore during the course of this presentation. The Splunk Search Processing Language, SPL, includes over 120 commands that support the use of pipes similar to Nix shells. The search bar includes command prompting, help, and history to help you build out your searches. Splunk also provides user interface tools to enable you to create and modify visualizations. You can create charts, tables, graphs, and a variety of visual displays of your data in the form of panels and dashboards. So with that, let's take a look at our data and perform some basic search and visualization. All of my data for this presentation is contained in a single index, SFPD, which we shall now start to explore. Here we can now see the events that are contained within this index. The events themselves are time-stamped and listed on the right-hand side of the page. And on the left we have a list of fields that Splunk has extracted from these events. And see here we have a total of almost 130,000 events covering a time span of 12 months from January 1, 2013 through to January 1, 2014. Now let's have a look at these fields that have been extracted by Splunk in more detail by clicking on All Fields. I like to sort on the number of values column here to list the most frequent fields. By clicking on the greater than symbol beside a field, I can get some information about that particular field and associated values for that field. This field location, resolution, district, yep. That's an interesting one, category. Okay, so I've checked these fields. I'll exit out of the All Fields window now. And you'll notice that those fields that I checked have now been listed in our selected fields for easier navigation. Now I can click on one of these fields, for example, resolution. You can see the top values listed here against that field. I simply click on the top values link. Splunk adds to the search command automatically, issues that search, and returns a visual display of that data, where we're looking at the number of resolution type, number of resolution against resolution type. Now I'm not that happy with that bar graph. That's better. So let's select a different type of graph and we'll go with a pie graph. Okay, great. Let's say that's the sort of information I want to capture. I can now save that off as a dashboard panel, and I can actually create a new dashboard. So let's do that. New dashboard. We'll call it SFPD 2013 Crime Stats. And this panel we'll title top resolutions. We'll continue with the pie graph and we'll save that off. We can now view that dashboard, and here's the panel that we've just built. We can drill down into this data if we so require to have a look at the raw underlying events. But for now I'd like to go back to search. Pull up our SFPD index. And let's expand out our search from the search bar and have a look at the category field, this particular field. So let's introduce a wildcard, a category equals star. Go up to stats, count by district. Let's see what that gives us. Okay. Processing the events, okay, all of those events have been processed, and we have a table now listing our various districts and the crime counts within those districts for that year. So we could narrow this down. Let's just look at category arson by district, and we can see that the Bayview district has the highest count of arson within San Francisco. We can visualize that just by clicking on the visualization tab. We'll stick with the pie chart, I think, and look at the arson stats. Again, Bayview there. Let's save that off. Now this time I'm not going to create a new dashboard. I'm going to populate an existing dashboard, the dashboard we just created in the previous exercise. We'll entitle this panel Arson by District, and we'll save that off. We won't view the dashboard at this point. We'll go back and view that further on through the presentation. So let's return to the events within our index, SFPD. Now I noticed here we appear to have some coordinates, XY coordinates. If I have a look at them, it looks like we've got some latitude and longitude data within our data set. So what Splunk can do using the geostats command is cluster those events together based on their latitude and longitude. So using my command history, I've just pulled up the remainder of that command. And we're going to do a count by category. Okay, well, let's go on to our pie chart format. Why don't we change that to map? Okay. So that data is now being represented on a map. Now we have some control here, so let's have a look at the format. So we have a look at the map. So our latitude, if we refer to the table at the bottom of the screen, we're looking at around 37.768. Longitude negative 122.422. Let's apply that. Okay, so that's now in the center of our map. Let's change the the zoom factor to 10. It zooms us in a bit. Now we can also use tiles. So we go into Format, and we're going to use an OpenStreetMap tile. I'll click on that preset configuration. Brings up the URL. We'll apply that. And we now have a map, a street map underlying our data. We can zoom in. That looks a bit better. So I might change our format. Let's change that to 12. Okay, that might have been a bit far. We'll just zoom out a little bit. Okay, there's our data. So there's San Francisco, and we can see the various regions within the borough of San Francisco and the various crime stats for those. Fantastic. Okay, I want that. Let's save that off to our dashboard. Again, we shall use our existing dashboard. We will call this crime stats by category. We'll save that off. Let's have a look and see how our dashboard is coming along. So we can see the 3 panels we've just added. Now we can also edit our dashboards. We can drag and drop, move the panels around. That looks better, and I might just put the map at the top. There we go. Close that off. And now here's our dashboard with those 3 panels we've just created. Okay, let's go back to search, and I'll quickly show you over the same data set the pivot function within Splunk. So Splunk has the ability to perform instant pivot. We don't have to have a pre-built data model. Splunk will build that for us on the fly. So this is our pivot interface. We're just loading our events. You can see the counter here. We'll filter over all time. Normally not best practice, but there's not a lot of data in this particular instance. And let's build out our table. So let's have a look at our district. Add that to table. There's the various police department districts. And let's have a look at our days of work. Let's see how this looks. Okay, so we can see our table here now with the districts and the crime stats per day. We can drag and drop so we can change around our rows and columns. So let's run the days as our rows across the districts. I think that looks better. Now on the left here we have some various graphs we can select. Okay, I like the look of that. We can stack our charts. So we can see here with the crime stats that Friday is marginally worse than other days, but fairly evenly spread across the districts per day. We can also do further filtering and modification at this particular dashboard within this pivot function. But for now, we're happy with that. We'll save that off as a dashboard panel. Into our existing dashboard, we shall entitle it Crime Stats per region by day. We have to name our data model, so that will be saved, and the reports can be run against those to produce our dashboard. Save that off. Let's view our dashboard. And there we go. Simple, easy, powerful. So that concludes this part of the tutorial. Some reference material for you: Splunk Search Manual, reference card, very useful, the Splunk Search reference card. Splunk Web Framework. I would encourage you to have a look at the Splunk developer portal at dev.splunk.com for more information about visualization options and features. There's a Splunk Web Framework app that you can download that's got some great examples and some sample XML code. And for visualization material on docs.splunk.com, check out the Viz manual. So that brings us to the end of the presentation, where we've explored a data set, run some basic search commands, visualized the results and presented them from a dashboard. I do hope you have found this tutorial useful. Please note that Splunk experts will be available during GovHack to help you, so keep an eye out for them. Finally, thanks for watching this brief tutorial. Happy Splunking and good luck at this year's